Why do so many people with OCD not recover? Well, it depends on the type of OCD. If you have mild OCD and it's not really affecting your life that much, then life's probably not even in that bad a position overall. So you function through your life thinking, oh, this is just how things are. I'm living my life. It's not that much of a hindrance. So the fact that you don't recover isn't even that big a deal. Now, for people that are in the camp like me, which was chronic severe OCD, that's relentless and isn't letting go, not recovering was pretty bad because all my day was consumed by 24/7 chronic guilt and anxiety. So therefore, you really want to recover. Now, all the people around the world, which is a huge number that have chronic severe OCD, the only reason that they're not recovering is they don't know how to recover, and even if they did, they don't put in the work consistently to recover. That's the problem, and the key word is consistently. Now, today, when people ask me like, am I going to recover? Am I going to recover? Am I going to recover? It becomes a reassurance because you've got to accept maybe you don't recover, and you've got to get used to that too, as did I. And the problem is not that people today can't recover. The problem is getting information out to them in English. The reason being is unless you live in the United States or in the UK, the information on OCD is very limited, hence why we've brought out translated channels to help combat that problem. In my career, I've worked with 40,000 plus people, which is a huge amount of people considering I'm only just turning 40 and my team as well is a small team of about 7 people. Now, there are people in the world that have been working with OCD into they're 80 years old now, right? In their life, they probably haven't seen as many people as we have, or even if they have, they often have not seen as complex cases. Due to the internet, people with the most severe OCD often search and find me and come in. So in my career, I've seen some of the most severe cases on the planet. Now, because of that, I have to be able to combat chronic OCD, mild OCD, however it's operating in any thoughts, any feelings, any physical anxiety. And I never get stumped and think I don't know what to do. But it's getting them to consistently do the work to recover, which is the hard part. We get there in the end, but we have to really show them that it's going to take dedication, persistence, and an attitude of I want my life back. Now, the problem today in the world is it's easy to presume when you've had something in one form that all forms are like that. So if you've had mild OCD, you presume all OCD is like that. If you've had chronic OCD, you presume that all of it operates in the same way. Hence why you go to bookshops and you see things on mindfulness and leaving thoughts there and thoughts are like clouds going through one ear and out the other. That isn't the reality of things. Okay? OCD is not simplistic, otherwise it wouldn't have been a complex disorder that would, through history has been very troubling for people. And myself, I'm not dumb. So in my life, I would have recovered very easily if it was simple because I read many of those books. OCD recovery takes thinking about your thinking, not compulsive, repetitive thinking like automatic thinking in your head that you know all too well when trying to escape chronic guilt and anxiety, but it needs reflection points so that you think about what you're learning and how you pivot and change those perspectives to get yourself out of that mental spider web. Now, the problem today is people don't have a lot of original thought in a lot of things. You've only got to walk into, say, a shopping mall or something and see people taking thousands of selfies, all wearing the same clothes, the same shoes, the same Instagram pictures, because original thought is rare, because it takes reflection and thinking, and it's easy just to copy someone. Now, OCD is a hard teacher. It doesn't let you off with just easy, relaxed, copied thought. It needs you to reflect on your thinking and think about your problem and adapt. And that is not something done by skim reading a book. It has got to be done proactively. OCD is robust. OCD is resilient. OCD doesn't back down easily. Okay, be aware of that. I'm very aware of that. Whatever it took to recover, I had to do. This was not some lucky chance. Some people often say to me, oh, you're so lucky you recovered. That ain't luck. I had to work like hell to recover. People don't realize that. People come into calls, their mum's booked the call, oh, sorry, he's in bed, he's not got up, he was watching Netflix late. That attitude is going to kill recovery. I can't highlight that enough. I can see in 2 seconds when someone messages me or emails me how hard my job is going to be. And usually it's that sluggish attitude of everything else before recovery. Oh, I've got a lot on with my work. I've got a lot on with my kids. Everyone's going to have a lot on with their work and a lot on with their kids their whole life because those things consume time. So you have got to prioritize recovery. That doesn't mean not feeding your kid. It means working around that situation so that you can recover. Now, if you take this very seriously and you are very proactive and you read and you learn and you're persistent, you will recover. It is not rocket science, but it's harder than you wish it to be. Most people online love to make recovery to be something so easy, like clouds going through your ears and out the other. Thoughts are just thoughts. Their journeys are always one moment feeling good, one moment feeling bad. It's not robust. If it was as easy as thoughts are thoughts, I would have used that and be preaching that all day long. You don't give a shit about thoughts are thoughts because you believe your thing is real, it is terrifying, it is maybe not OCD, that's what you're thinking. So when you're telling yourself a thought, it's just a compulsive cycle. Oh, it's just a thought. Oh, it's just a silly thought. That ain't doing shit for your recovery journey. So yes, having some insight early on that OCD latches to thoughts and it's just random, yes, but that ain't going to do much. You've got to prove to OCD again and again and again so that it becomes that robust recovery. It's the same as someone having a great business idea. You hear in a bar, oh bro, I've got a great business idea. Usually broke because ideas are to a penny. Consistency over and over when times are tough is the key ingredient. And for recovery, that counts most. So this message that I am saying here, if you really apply that and you focus on what you need to do, you can recover. There is no quick fix, no nonsense book that you pick up in a shop that some celebrity who's just recovered from mild panic attacks goes, oh, I held my nose and jumped up and down on one foot and it recovered. Bullshit. That does not work. You have to think about how you've got yourself in to this catastrophized cycle. This catastrophized cycle is the problem. You are so stuck in thinking this is the worst thing that could ever happen in my life. Nothing could be worse than this. I cannot stand this. If only this hadn't happened. That is the core of all your suffering. And my job with this team is to change that and break down that cycle till you reinstall that default inner peace once again.